Alrighty, ladies and gents, here we are kicking off the event 3 of the Kalgoorlie Champions League of Darts. Got myself and Benno here this evening, and first game is going to be Ronald Adams and Kevin Thomas on the live stream board. I believe they've already kicked off, so let's get right into it. But joined by Ben Hunter this evening. How are you, Benno?
I'm good, Declan, and look, thanks for having us on the stream. Thanks for doing the stream, and yeah, looking good. Looking forward to some great darting action from the Goldfields again today.
Awesome.
Over there, Goldfields Champion League.
And my first time in the comms box for this particular event, Kalgoorlie Champions League of Darts, and looking forward to seeing what the players are going to bring for us today. I've been told by the organisers that these two players are two of the best in Kalgoorlie, both averaging over 67 in the league, and that's quite near the top of the overall league table. Oh, I just realised the scoreboard's frozen.
The scoreboard's not ticking over, mate. Yeah,
there we are. 98. And Kevin got beat in the final of the very first event, and Ronald actually won the knockout, the Kalgoorlie knockout last week. And they've both represented Kalgoorlie for countries and for state. So two of the very best to offer out of Kalgoorlie in this first game.
I actually played against both of them in the countries, and good chance to have a look at these fellas.
Yeah, right.
Kalgoorlie brought across a fairly talented team down to Collie in Western Australia, country championships. And there was, well, look, they argue that some of the best players don't travel, and putting up $1,000, I think, for young Coops to take on any challenger from anywhere, I believe. I don't think it's isolated to Western Australia, but obviously if you're going to make your way to Kalgoorlie, you want to be fairly close to make it worth your while. James Bailey might take him up, Declan.
Well, it'd certainly be an interesting little journey. It's not one I think he's going to want to make too eagerly, that's for sure.
Oh, and the 180 just goes awry there. A 135. Adams fires back. This is a rapid-paced game. 85. I like it.
Yeah, for sure. And first to 4 legs here, so not going to be rapid for very long, that's for sure, at this kind of pace. Missed out on the stream of event number 2 last month due to some unforeseen circumstances, but back here again for the 3rd event, and I think there's 2 more before the finals. Is that right, Ben?
You got me there, Declan. I'm not 100% sure. I think there's 1 more and then finals, but I'd have to check on it for you.
That's all good. Well, it's top 16 that go through to the final anyway, isn't it? Off the order of merit, I think.
You got me, mate.
Anyway.
I read the poster a couple of months ago, and to be honest, I was not going to be available tonight, and due to some terrible circumstances, actually, am available. So here we are.
Oh, just missing the 117 there, Ronald Adams. Tops for Kevin Thomas. Oh no, he got the 117. Never mind. That was in. 96. So very nice finish there, Ronald Adams, evening it up. As Jonesy would say, the match is in parity. And been an interesting few weeks. We've not really been doing a lot here at DartStream Live. Not much by way of streaming anyway. We've had our page taken down yet again, unfortunately. This time we have no idea why. So that is why we're coming to you on YouTube and have shared the link onto Facebook, because Facebook don't like us. So hopefully YouTube like us a little more. We've, had the YouTube channel up for a while and posting a few replays and even a few live streams on there. So got a few bits of content still up that we can still put out. But yeah, hopefully this works a little better. It's going to be more difficult, I think. We're not going to be able to engage with the audience quite as much, at least not early on. There's not as many people on the YouTube channel and in the comments as there typically are on a Facebook stream.
Well, that's a good point, actually. If you are onto this already and you're like, oh, where's all the people? Jump onto our Facebook page and where the link is there, you can comment there. And where I'm looking at those comments there. So far, no one's commented, but I'll chuck a comment in just so that I'm here.
61. $60.
And there we go. Benno's comment there.
On the board.
Don't have it set up so that we can have them comments flash on the screen. But something I'll work on later, maybe.
You can actually comment on
YouTube as well, yeah.
Oh.
I can see that chat up here next to me, next to where I'm streaming from. So if Benno keeps an eye on Facebook, I'll keep an eye on the YouTube.
No worries.
And there we go. We got I'm here too. I'm guessing that was you.
That was me. Yeah.
50.
I might just share that to the Goldfields page.
But as I was saying, yeah, been a few months since we've streamed on DSL. There's been the DPA World Series qualifiers, and then of course the World Series themselves taking place last weekend through to next weekend. And you've actually got the finals day of the New South Wales Masters at the moment. And James Wade getting over Dimitri van den Berg just before I jumped on to set up. Not sure what the next match was or how that's gone, but I know Ben was keeping an eye on it before. But also had the Australian Open by our friends at Darts Australia about 2 weeks ago. Had the Australian Open followed by the Australian Championships, and
31.
Yeah, very, very good display of darts from a lot of players, and a few inexperienced players on the stage getting up and showing what they're made of. You had Scott Hallett getting the win over Yella Clarkson, making it into the semi-finals lineup, and Nicole Renault as well from New Zealand, putting in a really good showing. And yeah, very, very good to see some new faces, and of course to see some regular faces as well. Hopes making the final of both the Australian Open and the Pacific Masters, coming runner-up to Raymond Smith and Neil Duff in those tournaments respectively. Great to see the Guru do what he does, but unfortunately not going to see him in the World Series at all. But
on the board, first up.
Bang, there you go. Ronald Adams gets a 3-1 lead. First to 4. So Kevin Thomas really needs to come up with something here on his stroke.
And at the Masters, Declan, Simon Whitlock is 4-2 down to Joe Cullen.
Yeah, righto. Simon being the only Australian to get up yesterday, I believe. Bit of a different story to last weekend. Last weekend was very exciting. You had one of our good mates, Bailey Marsh, get up there and stick it to Michael Van Gogh, and not quite getting over the line, but probably one of the most entertaining games of the night.
85.
But you also saw Hopai getting his first big stage win and playing some very, very good darts. We saw Gigi make it through to the semi-finals with some really, really good games, and I hope I'm not forgetting anybody that won through. Oh, Damon, of course.
21.
Getting through as well. But, yeah, certainly a very, very interesting weekend last weekend. Certainly, I think I enjoyed last weekend a bit more than this weekend. You know, seems to be more of just the pros playing each other this weekend, with the Oceanic reps not really going too well, except for Simon.
Well, Hopes was impressive.
Hey?
Oh, Hopes was impressive last week.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we know what he can do. He's done it on the floor and in DartStream live comps for years, but I think it was something like his 9th World Series appearance, and finally got the win. You know, he's been to the Lakeside, he's been to the Alley Pally, and not really delivered.
66.
But good to see him sort of get over that for the Australian Masters. Australian Open, Australian Open, Pacific Masters, and the Queensland Masters there. But from memory, we won't see him in Hamilton.
So, Declan, this isn't actually a quarter-final. This is still a round 2 game, Ronald and Kevin here. Looks like Ronald, looking the goods to go through so far. Anything can happen. Of course,
60.
the come back here from Kevin Thomas is, you know, not off the cards, but Ronnie's definitely the dominant player. So far
Yeah, well, that ton leaves him 95, so it depends on what Ronald can do here, but not with a 5 on the first start.
125.
125 leaves 26. Interesting to not switch, but I suppose he just wanted to stay there, keep his rhythm, and put the pressure on this 95. There's a 25, and there's a 20 for the bullseye. Kevin Thomas. Oh, but the 14 leaves it pretty on 36. So double 13 for the match, Ronald Adams. Bit wide. Inside, so it's not going to go. Leaves the double 4. 41 for Kevin Thomas to stay in it. 9 for 32.
Second up.
Bang, and there he is. 3-2 it is. Ronald with the walk here, though.
Two. Here we go. 47.
unique experience for me, Declan, not hearing the action from the venue.
Yeah, I know.
I could open it up myself, I suppose, but
yeah, I suppose it's. I'm a little bit more used to it with the DPA, the way we run things for that. But I suppose when you're listening to Brocky and Jonesy and Eskimo talking the whole time, yeah, drowns it out a little bit. But yeah, no, it's certainly, you know, we're trying lots of different things. DartStream Live, bringing out better productions, and you know, sometimes it makes things a little bit more awkward for us back here, but makes the experience better, I suppose, for the viewer, and it's what we're all about.
well, that's the aim for sure.
36.
Well, and I said Kevin Thomas not out of this. He's definitely in it here. If he picks up the level up to break through, comes back with the darts in the
86.
final leg, and he is in front for sure. I would say. Well,
135.
Oh, with that, doesn't leave a finish, but leaves him in good stead to leave one after that.
Ronnie Adams.
241 for Kev. Wants a triple now. Oh, and he's come low. Far too low. 168 for Ronald Adams. Oh, that's nice.
66.
And all he could do there was set it up, and he has done a fine job of that.
As indeed. 181 for Kev Thomas. Needs a triple. Not that triple. Leaves 120, the Shanghai. 102, there's 20, leaves 82. Goes to the 14s and hits the triple 11. So 49 left. And leaves 32. Shanghai for Kev Thomas. Take it to a last leg decider.
At 20. Single. So
Oh, with the 48 on the last start. Leaves himself on 32 as well. But you'd have to pick Ron to take this here.
On the board, second up.
And he has, and that is the match
That's match points.
to Ronald Adams. And I don't have the little game set match voice clip. I forgot to put it in. So anyway, with that, we will take a very short break, go fix up a few little things, and be back with the next match. It should be a quarter-final matchup very, very soon here on DartStream Live. Cheers, guys.
see you soon, Dart fans.
Alrighty, guys. So they are wrapping up the last few top 16 games at the moment, and I think our next game is going to be a quarterfinal. So still have a bit of time before our next match, but figure we'll just do a quick run through the draw and see what's been going on so far this evening at the Kalgoorlie Champions League of Darts. So from the top, Darren Champion 3-2 over Jason Bourbon. Murray Stubbs, 3-1 over Graham Begbie. And Darren versus Murray is on now. Troy Trott, 3-1 over David Nemant. I think that's how you say that.
I think so, mate, yep.
Christopher Christoph went down 3-1 to Warwick Tulloch. And Troy Trott versus Warwick Tulloch is on now. Travis Jones, 3-2 down to Steve Cullen. And James Dillon, 3-0 over Annette Ashwin. And Steve versus James now. Sam Greenhill, 3-2 over Domo Nelson. And Jeff Walder over Stephen Fairman, 3-0. And then you've got Sam Greenhill, 4-1 over Jeff Walder. You've got Gregory Martin over Jimmy Beach, 3 legs to 2. Terence Morton, 3-1 over Robert Tulloch. And Terence Morton there, 4-2 over Gregory Martin, sorry. Trevor Sambo, 3-1 over John Yates. And Kerry Wells, 3-1 over Charlie Champion Sr. Trevor Sambo, 4-2 over Kerry Wells. And we will see Terence Morton versus Trevor Sambo in the quarterfinals. Don't know if we'll be watching that one on the stream or if it plays behind the scenes, but we will find out soon. Ronald Adams, 3-2 over John Marlin. And Kevin Thomas, 3-0 over Marley Booney. And we just saw Ronald Adams, 4-2 over Kevin Thomas on the stream board. And Mornay Hansen, 3-0 over Tim Champion.
Yep,
And Grace Brown, 3-0 over Jackie Figure. And Mornay Hansen, 4-2 over Grace Brown. So Ronald Adams and Mornay Hansen is the quarterfinal to be played. So see which one we get put on the stream board and see what lineups are to come on this top half of the draw here. But Benno, you were saying that Mornay Hansen and Roland Adams looks like probably one of the better games out of that.
Couple of good games there. Declan, Terence Mornay, Trevor Sambo, also going to be cracking quarterfinal there. So a couple of good games there. Not sure which one's going to end up on the stream board. Probably Ronald Adams and Mornay Hansen, and see Mornay feature in these Goldfields Champion Leagues quite heavily into the finals there. So handy little player. South Africa. He corrected me. I said South African and he corrected me and I can't remember what it was, but you know, he's got the accent. And yeah, they call him Tuna, or the Tuna. Tuna Mornay.
Yeah, right. All right, well, look, so that's the draw. We'll keep an eye on things and keep you updated. But for now, we're going to take another short break and be back with the quarterfinals very soon. Cheers, guys. Alrighty, guys, we are back with the next one. It is Ronald Adams and Mornay Hansen. So let's get straight into it as they have kicked off. And Mornay on the 197. Ronald back on 255.
Not a massive guy, Mornay Hansen, probably, 5.5 foot-ish, whatever. But what he lacks in height, he makes up for in mouth size. Love you, Tuna.
Murray Stubbs and Clay Trot on board E.
A few of the Kalgoorlie boys fairly outspoken. They love to barrack for their darts, and you could probably hear it in the background. Definitely a lot of cheering and yee-hawing going on there.
Yeah, no, quite a bit. I mean, no stranger to a bit of loud noise. I've hung around with the Gold Coast mob and a few other clubs around Queensland. They get quite vocal in their support for their teams and for their mates. But yeah, certainly very, very loud over in Kalgoorlie. So Ronald Adams there with a straight 60, leaves the 127. Mornay back for 24 for a breaker throw in the first leg. Just outside, but nice marker. Just inside, double six. And there he goes, and that's the first leg. Mornay Hansen in 18 darts. A very, very tidy breaker throw. Has the darts now. Sean Kohler has commented on YouTube saying hello. G'day, Sean. Hope you're well, mate. And glad to see that somebody's found the YouTube comments.
Yeah, good on you, Sean. Ronnie Piles in a big 140 there by the look of it.
Just working on some things in the background, sorry guys. Just having a look at something.
Ronnie Hansen. Oh, sorry, Ronnie Adams versus Mornay Hansen. Mornay first blood and looking good on 66 to take this out. Oh, correction, I am ahead of the play. Watching two screens here, and I've got one well behind, one bang on. And I've got the scoreboard a little bit ahead, so almost like I can see into the future right now.
60.
The scoreboard may have frozen there, Declan, I think.
Sorry.
It has. So it's 2-zip. Ronnie Hansen over Ronnie Adams.
104.
Mornay smacks in $1.40 to open the third leg on against the throw. It's first to four. Very short format here in the quarterfinals. I mean, it looks a big day, big contingent of players playing in the Goldfields Champions League. It's certainly not a criticism. It gives opportunity to players, you know, perhaps lesser ability to maybe jag a game while they're running hot, and a player that may be a little better than them is a bit cold. And Mornay Hansen, sitting on an 84 average in this one, is running considerably hot, you got to say. Ronnie sitting on a 69. And struggling to find a treble in this leg. Fallon's winning that one. 167, Mornay Hansen.
57.
Rhodesia, I think is where he's from.
100.
Hold on the ton there to leave himself a 128. He's going to get a crack at it. Mornay with the 74 to leave 36. 60 for top, 60 for ball now, I should say. Doesn't go. Mornay comes back at double 18s. Left that with some fair amount of deliberation. So he wants it. He's inside. Double 9s inside. Does he fix it up or does he bust it? Hits a 1 to leave himself double 4. 89 now, Ronnie Adams. Straight at it, doesn't waste any time. 82. 42 doesn't go. His darts are quick. His mass is sharp as a tack. His darts have not quite been finding the mark. It's inside for Mornay. That one hits the mark. It is 3-zip. Mornay Hansen over Ronald Adams in the quarterfinals. First quarterfinal of the Goldfields Champions League.
All right, and just quickly, we got board picture back, but we won't be able to hear from the venue for a few moments while I fix this up. Just give me a second.
We didn't actually leave the. We didn't actually lose the board, mate. So happy to say.
Oh, cool.
Zimbabwe flag. Oh, maybe he's Zimbabwean. Maybe you are correct there, John Kiley. Thanks for that message. Not that I know how the Zimbabwean flag differs from the South African flag. Got to tell you the truth. I thought that was a South African flag, but nevertheless, he's from the Afrikaans. And it is Africa versus Australia. Ronnie Adams.
24.
Rocking the black, red and gold. And John Kiley says, doesn't know how to comment on the page. So you can just comment on the post on Facebook if you like, or you can comment on YouTube. John Kiley. Either way.
All right, I think we're doing a little better. Ben was apparently a little bit quiet earlier, but I think I've fixed it up. Sounds all right to me listening back, so
Cool.
should be all good for now. Been a little while, so a little bit rusty.
No, I was going to say, no shit, but just realised that probably haven't got the grammar police on our ass tonight, Declan, so I can say it. No
Yeah.
shit, I am rusty as fuck. I had a Zoom meeting with someone the other day, and it was like, oh, what? It just took me so long to get it all together again after being so long away from it.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, we can put in so much work to learn all these different things, but, you know, when you take a bit of time off, it's like relearning the whole thing again. But nevertheless, we're here and we're plodding along. We're getting there. Starting to build up a few more viewers on YouTube. I know it's not quite what we normally do. Normally we stream straight to Facebook, but been having dramas, and I suppose if you're here, you realise that our page got taken down once again. This time we have no idea why, and aren't really game to stream direct to Facebook. So trying to stream to YouTube and share it around.
Standard. And then when we opened up the section, they said you have not violated community standards. So they just don't like us, Declan.
Yeah, I reckon so. And that is
shot and the match.
That is such a good dart.
That's the match to Mornay Hansen, and that is our quarterfinal game completed. I don't know if we're going to pick up another one, but I get a feeling we're going to take a quick break and come back very soon, probably with the first of two semi-finals, and begin to get to the pointy end of this evening. But for now, we'll take a break and be back very soon. Cheers, guys. We just wanted to jump in and say congratulations, JK John Kiley's finally worked out how to make an account and comment on the live stream saying, boom, I'm in. JK Kitchen, what's in the kitchen, mate? But,
Good stuff, JK. And look, anyone out there that wants to join in the chat, I know we've gotten fairly used to chatting amongst ourselves on YouTube. Oh, sorry, on Facebook, fairly easy. But YouTube, look, it's not that hard. Log into your YouTube, jump on the this link that you're watching, and join in the comments. We react and respond to your comments so you can become part of the live darting action from the Goldfields Champions League. How are we going, Declan? We're looking fairly close to a semi-final by the look of it.
yeah, I think so. So I'll just quickly refresh Dart Connect and then I'll whack up. This is the live games at the moment. So you got Troy Trott 2-0 up on Murray Stubbs, and you got James Dillon 3-2 over Sam Greenhill, and they are the last two quarterfinals.
And Trevor Sambo flogged Terence Morton 4-1 to go through into the semi-final to play Mornay Hansen.
Yeah, Mornay with the nice 4-0 demolition of Ronald Adams. We saw
James
a
Dillon, one
little
of
while
the
ago.
organisers of this event, one of the guys, young fellas that have helped put this thing together. So good to see him doing well.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, congrats, James. And, yeah, so going to be interesting to see how the semi-final lineup is. Got those last four players there playing off for spots. But the first semi-final is there, Trevor Sambo, Mornay Hansen. So we'll probably be back with that very, very soon. But I think we'll take another quick break. But if you're there watching and you haven't chucked a comment in, make sure you make an account and you can jump on and chuck a comment. JK says you need to create a channel name to comment. Righto. So subscribe, make a channel. I don't think it's too hard. I think it's pretty quick. And chuck us a comment. I know it's a bit different on YouTube to what we're used to on Facebook, but with the way Facebook is at the moment, I think YouTube is the easier way to go, the safer way to go, I suppose. So,
yeah, well, I think Facebook's pretty much got me flagged as not conforming to community standards, and can't think why the fuck they would do that. But anyway.
Anyway, enjoy the ad roll for a little bit more as we wait for the semi-finals to come up, and we'll be back very, very soon. Cheers, guys. Alrighty, guys, back now with the semi-final. We got Hansen versus Sambo. So let's get straight into it. They have kicked off, and Hansen here 328, and there's a 60. There's 120. Oh, bang right on cue.
Smashes out a big one. Love it, and love the close-up too. Thanks, Declan. There's still a quarterfinal under play, and that's Murray Stubbs and Troy Trott, and they're at 3 apiece. So that one's still to come out. And James Dillon is through to play the winner of that one. So we've got this semi-final, this Sambo final, Trevor Sambo, Mornay Hansen.
So Trevor Sambo sitting on 227. Hansen are down on 48. There's a 16 for 32. Bang. 14 dart leg to get off. Over 100 average after the first leg.
Turns it in.
Starting to get a few more viewers coming over here onto YouTube. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I think we'll be doing a few more streams on just YouTube because Facebook is temperamental, I suppose is a word for it.
No, they've been a dick is the actual word, Declan. They've been a fucking dick. Let's be honest about this.
It was very, very fair way of putting
Someone's
it.
been a dick.
Yeah, someone's been a dick. But you can see there Sean Kohler and JK have worked out how to chuck a comment up. So let us know you're here. Chuck a comment in. From what JK was saying, you've got to make a channel. So you've got to make an account and then make a channel. I don't think it's much effort at all. But, yeah, let us know you're here and let us know who you're barracking for, I suppose. And make sure you subscribe to keep an eye on everything that comes up on the DartStream Live YouTube channel.
Yeah, like and follow every motherfucking thing. Or just, like, if you're not a friend with me on Facebook, send me a friend request. And pretty much every time we go live, I'll stick a link up on my page. But that does not on my personal thing, but that doesn't necessarily come through to everyone. So it pays to like and follow Declan, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're following the Facebook page, it's now called the DSL page, then you'll be able to... We'll post ahead of time what's coming up, of course, and you'll be able to know to keep an eye out on whether it's on the Facebook page or the YouTube channel.
In the last quarterfinal, sorry to interrupt, last quarterfinal, Murray Stubbs, 32 left to take it out. It's 3 apiece game score. He's on 32. Troy Trott, 125 in the other game. It's taken a long time for the scoreboard to tick over. That might be a good thing for Murray Stubbs. That might mean he's won and they've just busy shaking hands and jumping up and down. And yeah, no, he's busted it. So Troy Trott's coming back. Game at hand is where it's all at, Declan Bailey.
Indeed. Trevor Sambo in with a 120, 85 rather. Courtesy of the zoom-in shot there. Leaves himself 87.
Hansen, courtesy of that first awesome leg, sitting on 107 average. Hasn't recalculated for the new leg. It doesn't leg in, leg out. So averages at the moment, fairly irrelevant.
Well, given that he's sitting on 140 after 18, I guess he's going to drop by about 20 points probably in the average. Still down to an 87, which is not too bad by any means. But, there's an 87 out, only way to go. Hits the 3 on the first dart go on the 17s. Hits the 60 and the double 12. Trevor Sambo makes it one apiece with a hole to throw. And there you go. I was almost right. Mornay Hansen drops his average by 27 points from the first to the second leg. But still 10 points ahead of Trevor Sambo. Banging in a 57 there. Oh, and another one. And that's 134 to kick off this leg.
But Mornay is pushing an 80 average for this event, Declan, which is Probably a standout. I haven't gone through and had a look at the total event averages, but it's pretty
I
good.
did have a look at the league averages for the whole Kalgoorlie Champions League. This is the third event, of course, so the first two events, I believe the highest was around the 78 mark. So Morné Hansen continues this form. He will be sitting tidy at the top of the table. Let me have a quick look and see if I can find that stat.
Oh, look, Morné has featured heavily. He's both players have got a lot through, like quite a few knockout finals in Kalgoorlie, and Morné got the semi-final in the last event. So,
Well, look, I've just found the tour leaderboard, and Morné Hansen sitting on a 62 overall average in sixth position. So not up to top spot. I don't know if that includes this event or not, but time will tell. Trent Cooper is actually on top of the tour leaderboard with a 74 average. But that means that Morné Hansen...
Trent Cooper's the one that they're offering up a bit of a bounty, $1,000. Come to Kalgoorlie, play Trent Cooper first to 21, winner takes all, $1,000 down. On for Friday. Well, let me check the dates for that. No player to take it up yet. Was going to be Bailey Marsh. He's got the Rockingham wind up that night, so he can't do it. That would have been a great game for Bailey. Would have loved to go there and pick up $1,000. However, Kalgoorlie boys are pretty confident in young Trent. Friday the 16th of September. Live stream on DartStream Live. First to 21,
Bailey's a bit of a Bailey is a bit of a superstar after last weekend, his performance against Michael Van Gerwen, but yeah, not to be, it looks like.
Right, 50 left. Morné Hansen, 18 for 32.
Just outside.
Oh, super dark, super close up. And, man, I'm loving the stream, Declan. This looks so crisp on Facebook. Oh, sorry, on YouTube. If you're watching this, YouTube's got a couple of quality settings there. And if you're watching on the big screen, hit that cog, hit the quality, hit 1080p, and you can watch this in full HD.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I've had a bit of a watch back in the gaps and looking pretty damn good.
Oh, you'd be happy with it, Declan. I am. I'm impressed. Mildly impressed. Coming out clean.
Absolutely, and you know, even the quality we're getting out of the venue here at Kalgoorlie on the board and the player cameras, just up there with the.
Without that, there's not. You know, the rest of it's all just bells and whistles, Declan. That's the most important thing. That board is crystal clear. Thanks to those guys for setting up. Thanks, James, Graham Begbie, and putting in the time and effort into that and thinking about it. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know.
Results are there.
You can definitely tell that they care and they want to have a good showing for Kalgoorlie and for all their sponsors. And we love it because we love a good quality stream.
Sponsors too, Declan, by the way.
Absolutely, you can see a few of them scrolling through on the back behind us, behind the players there on the telly.
Yeah, look at the big screen there from live from the Boulder X. A bit of a promo for the comp there for the Goldfields Champions League, the Kalgoorlie Champions League.
Yeah, and if we have a quick look at our desk here, you can see all these sponsors behind me too, very, very quickly.
Caught me out there.
Back to the game.
I was in serious concentration. 2-1. Morné Hansen over the Nugget. Trevor Sambo.
40 on the board. Picks up the 51, though. Leaves himself 60.
Oh,
Trevor
nice.
Sambo.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, and there's
Sambo.
the 3.
Oh, he might have picked up the 3 there. I'm not sure if that was the treble 1. Is that Declan? I've got the fuzzy board
I
here.
think so. Yes, it was. So leaves himself 80. 60 for Morné Hansen. There's 20. Taking his time. Oh, no. Bounce out.
Bang. That's in the hole.
There we are.
Mornay Hansen picks that one up. That's 3-1, isn't it, Declan? That's the third leg.
It is indeed.
And,
3 legs
first,
to 1.
First
Mornay.
5 in the semi, Declan Bailey.
Yes.
And bit of money on the line. I know this was touted as a $5,000 comp at the start of the comp. And look, I think they've tipped in a little bit more than that. I'm not 100% sure, but I know there's prize money from quite a bit of prize money up for grabs each night for the winner. So much so that players have travelled great distances to get to this Kalgoorlie Champions League. And why not? Great venue there, Boulder X.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we had JK and Butcher make the journey up on the very, very first weekend. They had something else on the second one, I believe, and were set to head up this weekend, but something came up. Oh, no, 121.
121 there, yeah. Gee, followed in the 140 with the 121. Mornay Hansen for the win. It's exciting stuff, Declan.
Absolutely, and all that Trevor Sambo can do is just sort of keep at it, but it's 115 in 6 starts.
On throw.
Nowhere near it.
On throw. 106. It's a tough game, tough leg to win. Bangs in a ton to keep it solid there. Mornay Hansen. Trevor Sambo needs something big. And did he pick that 57 up?
I think he... Oh, no, he didn't. It looked like it. Wow. Mornay Hansen just doing what he's doing and looking like he's under no pressure at all. Oh,
yeah, he
went over to get a better angle.
There's a blocker and another big blocker. He wants to stay up there on a ton. Oh, he's going to go bullseye lead. Bullseye. Hey, bit of Hollywood there from Kalgoorlie.
Yeah, well, even with the stuff around there, he's not really under any pressure with a 60 there from Trevor Sambo. So 83 for Mornay Hansen.
Surely he's looking at it. He's that height.
There's the 3, so 80. He's going to go tops, tops, surely. Single 20 means it won't go, but 43 there leaves tops. Got to get 3 darts, possibly 6 darts at it. Oh.
Oh, he's left it on
no,
a finish.
Just a ton.
167. Trevor Sambo relying on this to miss. First dart on the top wire. Mornay.
There it goes.
Bang.
And the celebration there for Mornay Hansen. He's loving it. The crowd is loving it too. It's electric energy out of Kalgoorlie Champions League at the Boulder X.
And John Kiley in the comments there, 16th of September. Big match. And look, I did put it out there publicly, but it was actually an invitation to John Kiley to put up a player out of the Team Eclipse crew, or anybody he wants, of course, to play against young Trent Cooper, who they reckon...
Is there a bus that goes to Kalgoorlie?
There is.
You reckon Jizzy would jump on that bus?
For Justin Miles, it's 2 buses. It would be about 14 hours of bus time to get to Kalgoorlie for Jim. Oh, that's serious.
Wow. Yeah, wow. 14 hours on the bus.
Yeah. There's a plane that goes to Kalgoorlie from Perth and get there in an hour and 5.
Oh, okay.
But Justin's 3 hours from Perth, so or 3.5. So
yeah, right.
3.5 hour drive, 5 hours on the bus, Perth.
Well, be quite the trek for Justin.
It would be, yeah.
23.
Oh, yeah, there's a 7-hour train from Perth to Cal.
Yeah. Yep.
But even then, he'd have to get to...
And as I said, Justin's 5 hours bus from Mandurah up to Perth, so...
Yeah, wow. Well, we'll wait and see what's happening behind the scenes, whether someone puts up the challenge. But if they do, we'll let you know because we're definitely
I
keen
haven't
for that
seen
one to go
Declan
ahead.
play. I don't know the guy. I've got to say, don't know him. Haven't seen him play.
Okay.
Maybe I know probably one of the best players I've seen come out of the Goldfields, Vinay Cooper. Been banned, but so doesn't play anymore. But he probably the most prodigious talent. I saw
Okay.
him
Can
at
I
Country-
ask why they've been banned?
Oh, I don't really want to say. Declan.
No, fair enough.
It was a fair
The
while
old
ago.
Ben would have said it.
Yeah, no, it was a fair. Yes, not my business, you know.
Yeah, no, fair
Not
enough.
that
Fair
it's stopped
enough.
me before, but you know, it was a fair while ago.
No, all good. Well, Morné Hansen up for 144 with Trevor Sambo sitting pretty on a 98. There's a 111, so not going to go Morné Hansen. But 80 picking up that last triple. Leaves himself 64, 98 now. That's the 60, down 438, double 19. Oh no, he went 6 for 32. He's done it. He's taken it out.
Gone. Bang!
Bang!
Stay in
That's
the game.
4-2.
Sambo, legendary darts. That was phenomenal darts. Hansen was sitting pretty.
And he was so excited that he's walked up to the oche. It's not even his stroke.
No, it is Mornay's, isn't it? Yeah.
No, Sambo walked up to have the darts and it wasn't his stroke.
Sorry, I was looking over at the scoreboard. Maybe that's didn't happen for him. Maybe a bit of a rush of blood to the head, Declan. He'd be excited. He'd be pumped to win that leg. 127 out. Is that correct? What was he?
No, it was 98. 98.
98. Oh.
But still very, very solid and getting himself back into it after it looked like Morné was absolutely just going to walk away with it. Mornay's still sitting on that 80 average though, so in top form in the Kalgoorlie Champions League.
Really
No,
solid.
absolutely, and even now. Oh,
I like him, Declan. Like young Tuna Mornay. Came up and introduced
for sure.
himself to me. And quick bio, happy dart player. And, you know, that's one thing I really like about dart players. Like, even if you're throwing shit, don't be a grumpy bastard. You know what I mean? Like, and it's easy to be happy when you're throwing well, but some people are unhappy when they're throwing well or throwing shit. You know what I mean? He seemed happy the whole weekend regardless, and he did throw fairly well. So
that's the thing. Like, what are you playing darts for if you're not having fun? I mean, you know, I suppose you got the pro scene and people want to make money, but
well, look,
I suppose when you come from a place like Kalgoorlie,
he's throwing the 18, 60 now. No, it doesn't go. But he's taking this seriously. That's important. For sure. But serious and grumpy are two different things. Serious doesn't mean being shitty when you miss, you know what I mean? And he's a happy dude. So it's and I reckon I think it's important for darts. I think that the best players are not one way or another. They're not overly happy, they're not overly sad. They're almost taking the emotion completely out of the game. Well, the 86.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and he takes it out.
Come on!
Double 7 to finish. Morné Hansen, 5-2.
Game,
Trevor Sambo.
shot, and the match.
That is such a good dart. The composure.
All right. Well, as they wrap that up, it is Morné Hansen, 5-2, and he's into the final to play the winner of Murray Stubbs and James Dillon. James Dillon is 2-0 up at the moment in that one, so we will take a bit of a break. maybe we'll throw that scoreboard up and keep an eye on things. We won't be able to see the game
Definitely,
itself.
we should definitely throw that one up. James Dillon, one of the organisers, great bloke, done a whole bunch of work to bring this to you guys out there. So, yeah, we'll watch a bit of the scoreboard of that over the promo maybe, and yeah.
There it is there. All right, yeah, we'll do it over the promo. All right, see you soon, guys. Cheers. Alrighty, guys, here we are. It is the final James Dillon versus Tuna Mornay Hansen. And going to be a 1-6 match coming up out of the Kalgoorlie Champions League Event 3. And the players are going up there and warming up. So let's flick over and take a look. But I am joined in commentary by not only Ben Hunter, who's been here for a little while now, but also champion Tony Glass. He's been in the commentary box quite a few times and lives in Kalgoorlie and been a big part of organising the events. So great to have you in the commentary box. Tony, how are you, mate?
Hey, Declan. Cheers, mate. Helping organise is probably a loose term. I've been an advisor. James, who's throwing now, is the principal organiser of the events, actually. So full credit to him to be the tournament director and then make a final, because it's really hard to do both. I used to do it years ago, be a tournament director and then play in them. So to make a final for James is outstanding.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, we've seen JK John Kiley, who's tournament director for the DPA out of Perth, out of the Port Kenty Tavern. He's played a few times, but not really done exceedingly well. But that's probably just down to him not being the greatest of players. But either way.
Oh, you bitch.
Nasty.
He's one of the very few that are watching at the moment, so we've got to get a dig in.
I'm living testament to the fact that JK was the top player, and he was, who's never the best of the best players, but threw a bloody mean dart in his day, John Kiley. And still got a bit, but he had a shoulder operation last year, and these things can come and go at this age, but he's still got a bit. Don't worry about that.
Fair enough.
So they've started here. You've got. I've given him some nicknames. I think I've called James the Irishman Dillon. He is Irish, and we've got Mornay the Hammer Hansen, who's South African, and both great guys. Mornay plays in my local pub league team, and I've played with him the last 3 years and seen him move from a 60 average to, making the rep teams this year. The first sixes. I think Ben, you met him down in Collie or wherever it was.
Yeah, in Collie,
playing in the first.
Yeah, absolutely.
For
and
countries.
I was impressed, mate. I had my take on him was that he was a regular mid-70s player. That's how he looked.
He's broken through into that level of game this year, and doesn't look like going back. He looks like getting better, actually. He's got a real dogged, you can see him throwing, he's got a real dogged little approach to the way he goes about things. He's passionate, loves the game, absolutely loves the game.
Hey, housekeeping, Tony, we sort of missed this a little bit. Did you remember to pin the shot that is the players live from Declan, so that is your main screen in Zoom?
No, I did not. Hang on, I'll do that now.
So if you hover over it,
I've just done it.
3 little dots. Yep.
Yep.
You pinned it? Yep. Cool.
Pin. There you go. Got him.
Beautiful. And, well, that means that you'll be able to see this zoom in at full clarity then, Glassy, as James walks up for a 96.
Yep.
Oh, and there's a 1. But we can see it clearly.
Yes, we can.
40 scored, leaves himself 56, but...
look, James is looking good to get the first leg on the board, and certainly the semi-final to get into this, Mornay absolutely belted that semi-final. James, look, the result looked resounding, however, the averages weren't quite there, so...
Another 8, leaves himself tops. Oh, and very high. So 92 for Mornay Hansen. But yeah, not quite living up to the way he played in the semi-finals yet, Mornay Hansen. Sitting on a solid 80 average, as he has been for the whole day. But 17 for Bullseye. Could steal this leg. Oh, and that's a 25.
67.
That hit the wire.
Yeah.
That's the type of darts he throws. When he misses, it's not because he's pulled it or jerked it. He just misses on the wire. So
Yeah.
On the board, second down.
there
But
you
there
go.
we go. James Dillon in
Bang,
23 with a hole to throw. But as Mornay walks up,
193, please.
I've noticed it looks a little bit like the girl on Price throw, the grip and
Yes,
the forward and then back. And yeah, it looks a bit
He-
like girl on
he's-
Price.
he's using Gerwin Price's old darts too.
Wow, well, there you go. And he's had a few celebrations, not quite to the level of Gerwin, but certainly,
Oh, he's got the passion.
yeah.
He doesn't mind letting out the odd ooh-ha when he hits the big ones.
Nothing wrong with a bit of passion, a bit of excitement.
Few Kalgoorlie players in the same vein. Tony Glass, the hoo-has and the come on and the get in and all that. They're all about it. They're very passionate about their darts out there in the gold fields.
They are,
absolutely.
and it's all in the right vein too. I tell you, it's been a long time since maybe 30 years ago in Townsville, I experienced the same sort of feeling where everybody just wanted everybody else to play well. You know, we've got Trent Cooper, we've got Domo Nelson, who won the first one. We've got a couple of ex-state players out here, and Kevin Thompson and Troy Trott, but everybody's just such good mates, and you know, there's no angst or clashing. It's just we all just want to play well, and the
Yeah,
ooh-ha and the hoo-ha and the rah-rah is part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I suppose out in a place like Kalgoorlie, you know, a lot of effort to make the trek to sort of go for, you know, the World Series of Darts and the PDC, you know, following that sort of route. So I suppose a lot of the players out there are just playing for a bit of fun. So the passion and wanting everyone to play well and that sort of thing is just out of love for the game. And, you know,
That's 100% what these guys have done, Declan, is they've wanted for a competition. There's a lot of players there that would love to go and play in the DPA competition. When you think about that, it's what is it? 8-hour drive from there, Tony, to Perth.
Yeah, it's
9 hours. 9 hours from Kalgoorlie to the Port Kennedy Tavern to play in the DPA event.
Yeah, it's 9 hours to Rockingham. So
yeah, so it's a big effort. It's a big drive for those guys to get there. And they thought, well, look, we've got the talent here. Why don't we have our own a similar thing and see how we go and get some stuff happening? They put it up there on the stream. They've done all the things. They've got the sponsors. It's a real credit to these guys, and particularly James Dillon, who we see up there on screen right now. Bangs in a 140, I believe.
yep,
he does indeed.
It is a
Just
140.
gonna
Yep.
put the pressure on the peg.
98 for Mornay. Just below, so 54 for 24. There's a 54, double 12. Bang! And that is, what a piece.
Mother of the rabbits. Oh, my goodness. Mornay Hansen brings it to 1-all. And it is
Wow.
game on as it's ever been game on, Declan.
It is indeed.
Exciting stuff.
Well, there you go. A comment there from JK. James and Jason both played the DPA out of the Port Kennedy Tavern every month. Made the journey down from Kalgoorlie and back. So
Yeah,
there you go.
One of my teammates, and Mornay's teammates, Adam Cameron, the Cannon, he used to go down on a regular basis too last year. He's
Okay.
but the other thing, the biggest challenge with a lot of us out here too is we all work in the mining industry, so we work night shifts, day shifts, 8 days on, 6 days off type stuff. So a lot of the guys, you know, every second week they're not available to play.
Yep.
83.
Yeah, it's that's been a big challenge for darts all over Western Australia, is that a lot of great dart players are what we call FIFO over here, fly in, fly out.
Yep.
And, so you go and do, well, it depends on what the shift is, and they've shortened them up significantly to try and keep families together, basically. But yeah, mainly 2 on, 2 off sort of thing. They're flying out for 14 days and back again. And you might think it's terrible for families, but geez, it's been terrible for darts.
I see Mornay, when Mornay's playing well, his first dart finds that 60. And he's and it sits nice and high in the 62. But he's struggling to find it properly at the moment.
41.
And he's just gone a bit wayward at the moment.
Yeah, and a bit of frustration showing there. Still slightly ahead in this leg. Against the darts,
James,
of course.
firstly, is looking pretty cool, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
He's not, obviously, he's not belting it out of the park. He's only hit 1 treble in this leg. He's certainly not dominating the leg, but his body language is probably better than Mornay's right now.
Yeah, for sure. Just
yes, he's reaching for him. But he'd have his mate Sam, some of his teammates from the Yorkie Blinders. That's our team. They'd be in the background there trying to calm him down, get him settled.
52.
We play out of the York Hotel here in Kalgoorlie, so we're the Yorkie Blinders.
Yorkie Blinders like Peaky Blinders?
Ed Zachary.
Very fair enough. Okay.
You can see some of those sponsors up there in the background.
There's a good dart.
Those guys are coming on. Sports Power in particular, major sponsor, the Kalgoorlie Champions League.
Yeah, that's James and his cohort, or his offsider, Graham Begbie.
81.
You'd know Beggars too, you guys. Beggs was, big help with getting a few of the sponsors and helping James all the way through. So,
Oh, it was Graham that approached me to stream it.
Yes.
For these guys, yeah. So,
yeah, and I was the one that gave him your number. I said, get onto this Ben
thank you.
guy.
No,
Get onto this Ben guy and see
you
what you can
laugh,
do. Might
but
be
thank
worthwhile.
Thank you. No. Seriously, Glassy, because the
59.
it means a lot more to these guys to actually have someone see it. You know what I mean? It's so good. What if someone throws a 9 data in Kalgoorlie and it takes 6 months for the news to filter out to the rest of the world? You know what I mean? Like this is live right now on YouTube.
Well,
On Facebook.
Trent Cooper, during fixtures, about 4 weeks ago, hit a 99.97 average.
Yeah, right.
For the night.
Wow.
So he I called it the Bradman average because he didn't quite make the 100. But
Tops now for James. Bit high, a bit low. Double 10.
20.
Ooh. 58 for Mornay.
And after a blistering start, it's been pretty lackluster third leg, to be honest. I feel like he might even struggle to hit this. He does, drags it low.
Come on!
He likes his double 10.
Oh,
He likes
And
his
you can
double
hear the cheers, the celebrations. The crowd's loving it. Mornay's loving it. It's getting exciting here in the final of Kalgoorlie Champions League event number 3.
He's switching good to that 19.
The 19 saved Damon last weekend. He was not terrible on the 20s, but when he was switching down and hitting 2 treble 19s a walk, definitely saved him there. There's nothing wrong with switching to the 19s. It's a safe way to go. Sometimes you just struggle in that little bit to get them up in the right range on the 20s. Going down to the 19s, you're throwing sort of more downwards, or depending on how tall you are, I suppose. But it feels a little easier to hit sometimes. And
the main reason you switch for guys that stand their darts up, like both James and Mornay do, if your first dart's below the triple 20, you've basically blocked your target. And Damon's the same. If Damon, if his first dart's below the triple 20, there's that first dart. That's Morn's on song when he hits that first dart. Oh, geez, he jerked that. But he's on song when he hits that first triple 20. But when you stand your darts up, being under the triple 20, you'll go down. See, James should go down now. No, he's going to try to go around it. Thinks he's got enough space, and does get around it.
Yeah,
No.
well, it looked like he was right over on that side, so still enough room. But yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Glassy. It's difficult.
Whereas-
Like everybody throws different, I suppose. You got players like my old man James Bailey and a few others that sort of lay their darts flat. So
They lay him
throwing,
down,
yeah. So throwing above the triple is when you
Yeah.
block it. So throwing under means you can slide
Yeah.
them on top. So everybody's different, but I suppose the kicking up is more of a common thing. So
There's a few guys that throw them dead straight, like Steve Beaton's a guy that sort of lands him in pretty straight, flat. Tony David used to land him in pretty flat. Russell Stewart landed him in absolutely flat. I tried for a long time to flatten mine out instead of having them stand up. As when I first started, they stood up really high, like almost like Adrian Lewis. But, but towards the end, I flattened them down a fair bit.
yeah, I suppose it's just about working out your own game and how you're comfortable and changing what you want to change and having the people around you, I suppose, that can teach you how to change what you want to change, I guess.
Yeah.
One thing that Raymond Smith talks about a lot is the knowledge of, people like yourself, Glassy, and those that taught, yourself and him, and, having a network and people who can pass on their knowledge and, people that know things and can teach you things, I suppose.
There was an original guy in the 70s. He played for Australia out of Queensland, a guy by the name of Bert Ridgway. He was one of the best players in Australia. He used to play against. I posted a photo recently of some Australian players in 1978 in the Golden Darts in England. They were with the English. Unlucky there with the English teams and the Wales teams and three great Western Australians, Matt Vanovich, Tim Brown and Terry O'Day were there. And Bert Ridgway used to mix it with those guys on a regular basis. Well, Bert, he's also an Irishman. And so there's, he was a very, very competent player. And he taught me how to play and he taught Raymond how to play. He taught Ian Brown, who was a world junior champion for Australia. He coached and trained a lot of us. And I went on. He didn't teach Tony David directly, but I did. So the pedigree or the stable of knowledge and skills got passed on to Tony. I also continue to. Unlucky James. I also continue to mentor Raymond whenever he needs it. Just mainly getting him to reflect on a lot of the teachings that he got from, our old master, in Bert.
Yeah, okay.
Is that Mornay out? Is it? It is.
Yes, it was.
Wow, well done.
Pinning the double one on the last start there. But yeah, no, Raymond talks a lot about the coaching and everything like that, and great to see he practices what he preaches. He reflects on things that he's learnt, and working with you, Glassy, and I suppose whatever he's doing it right because he's been in incredible form. Not only the Ali Pali, but coming out and winning the Australian Open and winning the spot for Ali Pali again at the end of the year.
Yeah, we started talking about 4 years. I didn't know Raymond, and when I came back to Australia after living in China, Raymond called me up when one of my great old mates, and he was in the Queensland team that won the Australian Championships back in '86. One of my good mates, Bruce Baker, died, and he was an Australian player as well.
Yeah.
And Raymond just rocked up on my doorstep one day and said, "Mr. Glass." I said, "Yeah." He said, "We're going up to Bruce Baker's funeral next weekend. Would you like a ride up with us?" And I thought, wow. And I'd only been back in Australia about 3 months, and I hadn't seen my darts fraternity or darts family for nearly 25 years. And for Raymond to seek me out and invite me to travel with his family up to Bruce's funeral was amazing. And I got to see the quality of the guy, and I got to catch up then with a lot of the old team and the old Queensland players. That's a great dart from James. And then we started chatting, and he was hanging around high 80s and that flat 90 average on a regular basis, and he was just missing that what to do to get to that next step. So I started working with him on some ideas about trying to get that extra 60 in his first 9 darts to get him under 200, and then out in 15 every game and 12 on his against the darts games. And that's what we basically focus on. We just focus on 5 walk and 4 walk games. So, and it's all about the structure of the game and hitting the 60s as much as you can. Here's Mornay. There's that first dart that I was telling you about. He's in there, I'd say. Ooh.
Yeah, well, you're talking about the the way you structure your games and going for those 4 and 5 walk games, and you've spoken about the 201 after 9 sort of benchmark, putting you on for that 5 walk game. And yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people have different approaches to the game, but
the game's small. The more you watch it these days, you've got to be 81 after 9 darts. It's crazy. It's phenomenal. It's just But good darts, Mornay. So I started working with Raymond, I guess, before the World Cup. When they went away, and I started chatting to him about some approaches, and I started getting him practicing with 6 darts at a time, and that's a technique that I had Tony David doing quite a lot, and I champion that every chance I get on every forum, because my philosophy is you don't need to practice how to walk. You need to practice how to throw darts. So when you're practicing, throw with 6 at a time. And
fair enough. And I suppose it's helpful too, because a lot of players sort of get into maybe the habit of walking on the last dart or throwing the last dart differently, and throwing with 6 darts at a time sort of trains you to throw every dart the exact same. As James just goes under the double, over the double top there.
Yes.
And Mornay back for tops now. Sorry to interrupt, but
you're all right.
Looks like we have got Ben back. We lost him for a second.
I think I'm back.
Sounds like it. Good to have you back. And Mornay's just missed 3 clear darts at tops. James up now with 3 at tops. 4-3-2 scoreline in Mornay's favour. Oh, wow. And off into the 1 there. And a 7 for 32, James Dillon. Oh, and he's just outside. Mornay back for double 10.
Come on, Mornay.
And there's the celebration. There's the passion as he takes the 4-1 lead, Mornay Hansen. The cheers from himself, the cheers from the crowd. Everybody's loving it, except maybe for James Dillon.
That's the type of medal that, you've got a guy that can win a darts game, because he's missed 3 darts at 40 to win an easy game. His opponent's stuffed up, let him in again. Then he's thrown 2 darts outside the double. So you could easily go to water there and just pull it and jerk it and push it and just stuff up that last dart. But to stay focused and get it with that 6th dart after you've had 5 missed, that's why you're raw, because that's that's challenging all your own inhibitions and all your insecurities and everything going on in your own brain.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so easy to fall into the trap of worrying about what you've stuffed up in the previous starts, but yeah, maintaining your focus and just getting it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon that's a great point, Tony, and a great point for the dart players that, constantly trying to find that edge, find that thing. And that's one of the most important things is once you throw in the dart, you can't do anything about what happens. It's gone. Let that go. Let that dart go. Obviously, you want to work on your strengths and sort of build on what you're doing right. But being emotionally involved with darts that have gone before, irrelevant. No point.
One of the big changes in Mornay in the last 2 years that I've helped, worked a lot with him on is changing his mindset from he had to hit that double 10 to win a game to he just was trying to hit a target, and the target was double 10, and he hit it. It took him 3 darts to hit it, but he was hitting a target. He wasn't trying to win a game. If he was thinking about, oh, geez, I've got to hit this to win the game, he probably wouldn't have hit. He wouldn't have hit it, and in the past, he wouldn't have.
And that's one thing a lot of the old school say. You don't play between the ears. Dylan Styles on Facebook and on YouTube in the comments there. Cheers for getting this on the live stream, guys. Proud sister and brother-in-law of Mornay, watching from Perth.
Good stuff. He comes from a good family, Mornay. His dad's a cracker.
81.
Good last dart, Mornay. So he's 197 now, James. This is where you should be going out in 6 at Raymond Smith and Damo level, 9 at our level. So in our league, so he's hit 94, he's 100. If he sets up a double after the next 6 and goes out, that's still decent darts. Now Mornay's just trying to set himself up.
Yeah, not under too much pressure, the 4-1 scoreline, and the 103 is not a gimme for James. So there's 83 scored, leaves himself 57, a nice 2-dart finish.
John Kyle, he said 3 Mandurah boys there in Kalgoorlie, Benny. Matt, Tim and Tony, g'day you blokes.
Oh, and a 1 and a triple 1 there from James. He's not going to take it out. He's not going to leave it too pretty. Oh, that's about as good as he could have done. Leaves himself 42.
Great last start.
57, Mornay.
17 for tops.
Good.
Oh, and he's just below double 10.
47.
Oh, and a narrow miss. Couldn't see because of the flight.
A bit of a blocker there for the camera, but didn't go for him.
Wow.
James Dillon hits a fat 13. Is that correct, Declan? I'm sorry.
That is correct. Yeah, it's a 13. We'll give a zoom in there, the 13. The frustration you can see on his face. Oh, and that's a 6. James is having a nightmare. And a triple 1.
The difference, even though Mornay missed his 57, when you watch Mornay go for a single number, he throws it the same as if he's throwing for a double or a treble. It's hard, it's firm, it's at the single number. But James floated one at the 6 then instead of...
James is going to come back because Mornay's gone inside that double 5, fixed it up with a 1 to leave it double. James Dillon, double 7, straight at it. He's underneath.
Oh, and that's a double 19.
Oh, it's a double 19 for the bus. That's frustrating for the champ. Double 2, straight in the hole. Mornay Hansen. 5-1. It's first to 6 in the final. We've upped it another leg. So still chances now for James Dillon, who look a little better towards the end of that game. I felt, fellas. Don't know. We'll see how he goes.
I think the hammer's got him.
Yeah, well, they're both on a 61 average, so both playing at that same level, and James really needs to pick it up if he's going to mount a comeback, and that bounce out definitely doesn't help.
you can see they've just tightened up because they've made a final. These boys don't play a lot of finals, so I'll chalk this one up to, apprenticeship. And
Does the stream board play into it, do you think, Tony?
yes, probably. It's the first time they've ever streamed as well. But I don't think so. I just think, the fact that they're both great mates. They get on really well. And I think it's their first final. A lot of our guys are getting used to competing at these sorts of events, and that's what we've been doing out here, just making these events to get them used to this sort of stuff. So it's better Morn and James to have this tight sort of in battle the way they are now. Then we can reflect, we can have a chat and say, well, how did you feel?
Like there's an issue there in venue, Tony Glass. Can you give us shed any light on what might be going on there?
I'm not there, mate. I'm at home.
I know you're not, but let's pretend you are. You ruined the whole illusion, mate. Tony Glass from Kalgoorlie. I know you. But there's something
I'm listening
going
in on the venue audio, and I can't hear much. There's just a lot of chatter. Nothing is giving me any clues as to what's going on.
Chalker's got mic in hand back to front. It's like, this is not happening anytime soon.
I don't think it's serious, because the chalker is actually the publican of the club. So if there was any problem there, he'd be out of the chair and sorting the issue. So the chalker's actually
what's his name, Tony?
Rob, I think it is.
Rob? Yeah, okay.
I think it's Rob. I apologise.
It looks like we're going to get underway very shortly. He's limbering up for his calling duties. James Dillon walks the hockey.
But James changed his
one
flights.
Down.
James has changed his flights. That's what's happened.
Yeah, there you go.
He had white flights, and now he's got black ones.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
hasn't
just
done a lot for him. Still only scoring 59.
And the break won't actually harm Mornay. In the past, again, a couple of years ago, the breaks like that would have gotten to Morn. He would have been a bit pissed off. But now he's, look, yeah, come on. I'm ready now.
We talked about that earlier, actually, Tony, the disposition of different players. And I mentioned in particular James Mornay in the semi-final. He has a happy disposition as a player. And say, the Mornay of old may not have been that guy. I never got a hint of it. He was happy as Harry all weekend last time I saw him play.
But he's playing well, and I think the main reason he was probably cranky is because he was frustrated because he wasn't playing as good as he wanted to play, and he's playing well now. He's got a good game now. I'd go so far as to say in a couple of years' time he'll be a state player.
Big commitment from Kalgoorlie being a state player.
Yes, it is, but he loves his darts.
And I don't know James Dillon really, but Glassy, I get the impression that you know him. As an organiser, he's obviously put in a lot of work, in the lead up to this tournament and made it through to the final. Obviously, we'd like to win, but do you reckon he's got much left in the tank to give, sort of getting into the final, especially with Mornay being so clinical on the finishing?
But having experience being a tournament director and playing, we were talking about it a bit earlier, it does. He's probably expended 25% more energy or even 40% more energy just running the event and playing the event than Mornay has. Now, both of these boys are fairly fit boys. They don't carry any bellies they don't even drink. They've both probably got Coca-Colas in their hands, and so they're healthy. Look at James. He could be playing rugby, and he's in. Is he in?
No, I think the second one was just above.
But he was on. Oh, he was on. I thought he was
back for 82. This is for the win.
It's 15, 17 for the bullseye. Is he going to go? He's got to go for it. 51 for double 8. Mornay Hansen. Oh,
he knows too. He knows. It was a great 51.
James Dillon again to stay in this game with 70.
18 leaves 52. 12 leaves tops. Oh, he just misses.
I can't tell. It's not in. It's not in. 30 on the board, 40 left. That one was high.
They'll both
Mornay
be.
taking his time, walking up.
They'll,
Double eight
they'll-
now.
they'll both be better for the experience doing this. It's not their best game today.
That is it.
Oh, and he gives it a roar, and he gives it
Come on.
arms up in the air.
The hammer.
Hug you, James Dillon. Hug anyone here. Very happy with that win.
Shot. And the man.
The hammer gets the
That
win
is
over the
such a
Irishman.
good dart. The composure.
And the celebrations continue. Mornay Hansen, event number 3 champion of the Kalgoorlie Champions League of Darts. And that does wrap up today's event. But Glassy, we were trying to remember how the rest of the season is shaping up. Is there 1 or 2 more tournaments left before the finals?
One left. There's 4 prelims, so that was the third, and then the last 16 play in the playoffs. So so you've got one more full event that anyone can come and have a game in, and still pick up some solid prize money in that, and then the final 16 on the order of merit, which is based on games won over the last 3 or 4, and get through to the final day, and they'll play off for the big money.
Awesome. Well, look, thank you all for joining us here on YouTube at DartStream Live for the event number 3 finals. We will be back next month with event number 4, and then after that for the finals. But very, very keen to see how the rest of the season is going to shape up. People will be playing for those last couple of spots in the top 16 next month, so very, very keen for that one. But look, for now, that's all from me. Thank you very much, Glassy, for jumping in for the final in commentary. We can't see you on the screen at the moment, but really appreciate you giving us a hand. And
He's
Benno.
there. Trust us. He's there.
He's out the back. He's out the back. No, always a pleasure having you on, Tony, and really appreciate
guys.
having you on, mate.
Great work. You do this is the best stuff. I wish I had this in the 70s and 80s. You guys are doing the best work and giving the best product for our game anywhere in the world, no doubt. Well done.
Thank you,
Cheers,
Glass.
mate. And
Really
look,
appreciate
massive
it.
thanks to the organisers. Thanks, James Dillon. There, we saw him in the final there, and he couldn't do this without sponsors as well. Of course, Kalgoorlie Sports Power, major sponsor. Miller's Auto Glass, BMC Plumbing and Gas, First National. Thanks, Danielle Vasic, for getting involved. James Bricklaying and DWE Electrical. And not to forget Boldrex, who hosts this, and BIWA for getting involved, jump on the sponsorship. All those guys, look, we'll give you as much of a plug as we can to help your businesses. If you're going to help these guys put local darts on the big screen TV in high definition on DartStream Live. And Declan Bailey, awesome job, mate. Really well done tonight.
Thank you, Benno. Really appreciate it, mate. And as we shout out all of the tournament sponsors, of course, we can't forget our own sponsors. Bailey's Carpentry Services, Lynx Property Group, Aussie Dart Supplies Online, Get Plastered Rendering, and My Primo. So massive thank you to our sponsors. And, thanks again to the organisers for bringing us on for this. But for now, it's good night from me, and we'll see you, I suppose, next month for Kalgoorlie. But in 2 weeks' time, we will be having the JDC, Australia versus New Zealand Bledisloe tournament. And organisers,
big one.
Organisers Moses Kanuku for Australia and Machu Hoea for New Zealand. So very, very keen for that one. Teams lineups should be coming out very, very soon. And,
Look, and there
gonna
is
be a
some
big
other
one.
stuff coming up. We haven't done much for a while, Declan, but the I think in the works there's a South Africa versus Australia JDC teams game venue in venue. So a live bash when they go over for, I think, in Spain. I think South
Gibraltar
Africa and Australia are going to have a friendly match in Spain leading up to the JDC World Championships, and streamed exclusively on DartStream Live. So one to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. Details still to be ironed out, and not quite published yet, but when the information comes, we'll let you know. But as always,
Tease.
with
A
DartStream
tease.
Live, you've got a sneak preview of what's to come. So, yeah, interesting. Our first night exclusively on YouTube. Viewership, not quite as it normally is on Facebook, but it's going to take some time. And for everyone who's jumped on and subscribed and commented, really appreciate it. And keen for the next
A
one.
couple of things, Declan. I think YouTube is easy for more easy for more people to get on their TV, and a lot of people are watching this on their TV rather than on their phone now. So, and the live stream is cleaner on YouTube. I feel like the quality is better on YouTube than it is on Facebook. And thirdly, Facebook are fucking cunts. 'Cause they
Well, fair enough. That's one way to
just a
wrap it
little
up.
tester to see if YouTube kicks us off the community.
All right. Well, we better actually end it for now. But thank you for sticking around, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Cheers.
Awesome. And thanks, Tony Glass. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, Glassy.